What's up, everybody? Nick Couch coming to you from Las Vegas. We are still here on vacation. Super pumped. I have a whole page of notes. I'm going to talk fast, very energetic. I'm really excited to bring cold contacting customer hacks to you because I feel like that's my strong suit. I feel like I dominate cold contacting. I'm a cold contacting monster. If you come within a 5-foot radius of me and I have 30 seconds or less to talk to you, you're going to find out about ketones. And I have a couple real world experiences that literally just happened an hour ago. I'm going to share here at the end. So let's get started. Like I said, my name is Nick Couch. I'm a pro champ with Pruvit. And I want to let everybody know that per the new compliance guidelines, that the statements made within the live posting tonight have not been reviewed by Pruvit. Pruvit does not endorse those statements. The following is an example. Oh, wait, sorry. This is the first time I'm doing this. So the statements and opinions expressed herein are my own and not necessarily those of Pruvit Ventures Incorporated. These statements have not been approved or adopted by Pruvit. When making any changes to your diet and lifestyle, you should consult with a medical professional. All right, so let's jump into customer hacks, cold contacting. So like I just mentioned, I cold contact everywhere I go. A couple of examples: gas stations, airplanes and airports, barbershops, coffee shops, and then any other place where you meet people. I literally, in an Uber, everywhere. So a couple examples: gas stations. I was literally at a Sheetz gas station in Pennsylvania probably about 9 months ago. I met a gentleman by the name of Tony Salviano, who should be in on this Zoom if he's not already on here. Tony, we were just talking about his Jeep. And I just happened to mention that my business partner has a Jeep, Brian James, but I wasn't even going in for the kill or to talk about ketones. I was like, yeah, my business partner has a Jeep. Guess what he asked? Oh, you have a business, what do you do? Bam. So we started talking about ketones. It turns out that he did the ketogenic diet for a medical condition years ago. I went to pop my trunk and I had packets everywhere. It looked like a drug deal gone bad. So literally for 8 months, we just talked. We connected, we just talked. I sent him information, I would touch and I would give him little nuggets, and I would send him different links and different things were happening, and he was watching what I was doing. For 8 months, he was skeptical. I went to drop off a 5-day experience at one of my promoters' wrestling gyms. Tony, his son, trains at the wrestling gym. So I walked in, he's like, dude, are you stalking me? I said, no, I'm bringing Ryan some ketones. I had to leave, so I left. Ryan did the third-party connection, told him about his experience. Tony then tried the product. Tony loved the product, became a promoter. Tony is literally one of my fastest growing promoters on my team, hands down right now. He's on fire. He's probably not on the Zoom yet because he's enrolling an experience pack with another promoter. So these cold contacts, they do work. I'm not saying this is the only way I build my business. I do things on social media and other platforms, but I do dominate the cold contact. So gas stations, whether I'm in line and I see somebody with a Red Bull, I'm like, oh man, how many grams of sugar in that? They're like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, man, I'm getting energy from ketones. It's basically sugar-free. And they're like, oh, what's that? And then I'll tell them, like, hey, if you put your Red Bull back and grab a bottle of water, I'll mix up your first serving for free. I've done that. It's worked. Airplanes and airports. It's an easy conversation. I'm always wearing the T-shirt. Always. If I don't have my T-shirt, I have a keto hat. If I don't have my keto hat or my keto T-shirt, I have my keto backpack. Like, I'm literally head to toe branded in ketones. Why? Nike doesn't pay me to endorse a polo. I make a living from Pruvit. I'm going to wear the gear and be the brand. So literally, I've been 35,000 feet in the air having keto mixers in the flight attendant galley. All the flight attendants are drinking samples, and I've actually had some that have signed up to be a customer before the plane landed. So airplanes and airports, anywhere you're in a place where you have time to conversate, it's great. Speaking of that, barbershops, or for the ladies, salons, while you're getting your hair done, it's free conversation. And I don't go to the same barbershop every single time I get a haircut. I go to a different barbershop and a different barbershop and a different barbershop to meet new barbers. If I go to the same barbershop every time, I'm talking to the same barber about the same conversation about ketones. And I have some barbers of mine that drink ketones and some that don't. Guess which barbershops I frequent more often? the barbers that are drinking ketones, the barbers that have become promoters. It makes sense. Why not give my business back to somebody that's sending business to prove it? So that's a great place, but don't go to the same salon every time. I know that's a hard one for you ladies because you find that stylist, that guy or girl that dyes your hair just right or trims your split ends just right. It's hard, but try and mix up your salon. Ask your friends. That's a great Facebook post. Hey, I'm thinking about trying a new salon. Any suggestions? Reach out, create some buzz, find a new salon that's trusted by your friends, vetted by your friends, and go there. Walk in to get your hair cut and have ketones in your ketone cup and sip on your ketones while you're getting your hair cut. It's easy. It's literally like just go around and meet people. Get out in open environments and just talk and be a human being. Coffee shops. I frequent coffee shops all the time. Easy conversation to have is when you're ordering your drink and then you go to the end of the line where everybody's waiting for their ketones. I literally take my keto cream packet and I smack it off my inner thigh to get all the powder to the bottom so that all the people that are standing there waiting for their coffee, they're like, what is that guy doing? It's a little obnoxious, but it creates attention. And then I tear it open and I dump it in my coffee. Sometimes I'll mix a chocolate swirl so I get a nice dust cloud. It creates people to ask, man, what's that you're putting in your coffee? And then I'm like, oh yeah. It opens the conversation. So literally everywhere I go, I'm almost on stage. I'm almost creating a play environment. I'm almost like creating a platform where they want to know what the heck's this guy doing? Why is it 7 a.m.? He's got so much energy and he's smacking this packet off his inner thigh. I mean, I'm whacking it really, really loud. The people can't help but look. And they want to know what it is. So coffee shops, whether I'm talking to the barista or I'm standing at the end of the counter getting my coffee, it's opening conversations. So I'm going to give you an example while this one's on my list. I was just at the Discovery Children's Museum in Las Vegas with Kelly and my kids. So they went in to play. I went to the cafe to work so I could prepare for my Zoom. Jess will be proud, I've got a page full of notes. So I'm sitting there working and I see these two ladies behind me. They just came from the store. They got the pre-mixed Dunkin' Donuts, sugar in a bottle coffee drinks. And you can tell they're just trying to get through the day. So I just happened to take my headphones out and I heard them talk about how much sugar was in their coffee. So I turned around, I'm like, how much sugar is in that coffee? I just happened to hear that. So I started talking about the sugar in their coffee. And then I tell them that I'm basically sugar-free. I've been eating keto for 3 years. So then they're like, no way. How do you feel? How long did it take you to feel good? They started asking me questions. So we started talking about keto and ketones, and I connected with them. I got their contact information from Facebook. We're now Facebook friends. I started a message while we were there. So I have the first message sent so that if they don't respond and I message them, they can scroll up and see when I contacted them. So I met those ladies, and then another mom came over with her 2 little kids about the age of my kids, and they're getting Fritos and Doritos and toast, all kinds of carby, sugary, non-keto snacks out of the vending machine. So I started talking to the mom about how old her kids were because my kids are the same age, and I started showing her pictures of my kids, and we were just talking. And I was like, hey, well, before you go, like, here's my business card. I don't always use them, but sometimes I do. I use that as the connection. And I started talking, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? She held up her bag of Fritos, and she said, obviously not a lot. So I was telling her how ketones are the easy button, and then I got her from me on Facebook. So I used the business card to crack it open, but I always try to get their information because if I just give them the business card, they're going to throw it away. It's going to fall down between their seats or get ran through the washing machine, and they're never going to reach back. You probably all have a pile of business cards. So I connected with her on Facebook. And then when I make the connection, what I do is, I'll show you here. So say I just met, this is the lady I just met. Her name's Heidi. So when I have her friend request open, or when I have her page open, I snap a screenshot of it, and then that saves that picture in my screenshots album. Then if I'm like, oh, who was that lady I met the other week while I was in Las Vegas? I can go to my photo album and I can search Las Vegas, and it'll pull up all my pictures that we're taking in Las Vegas, or I can scroll back to the date that I know I was in Las Vegas, and I can find that screenshot. That's almost like my Rolodex of people I've contacted. I've got screenshots of everybody I've ever cold contacted. So that's one way I go back and find them. Another way is if I get their phone number, I put in their contact, their first name, their last name, and then in the iPhone, it gives you a spot for company. I'll put Las Vegas, Nevada, ketones. I'll put something in there so that a year from now, I can search in my contacts, ketones, Las Vegas, Nevada. If I'm flying to Nevada, I can search Nevada, see who my contacts are in Nevada, so I can reach out to them in advance, like, hey, I'm coming to Nevada. Let's get together. Let's drink some ketones. So I use those tools inside my smartphone to find the people that I've cold contacted. It's my system. Your system might be a Post-it note. Your system might be a Rolodex, a spreadsheet. They have apps that'll do it for you. You might have all kinds of different ways. Whatever works for you, find that system and keep your contacts organized. That's what works for me. I've got screenshots of people I cold contacted 3 years ago. It's what works for me. So that's just another way to keep track of where you met people. And I'll give you a live, real-world experience, and it's kind of funny that I'm running this Zoom. 1 year ago, November 6th, today, 1 year ago, I met a lady named Kim in the Atlanta airport. We were eating sushi on a layover. We got to talking about ketones. She was intrigued. I shook up a Swiss cacao in a water bottle, and I gave it to her. We connected on Facebook. We became friends through text message. We took a selfie. We did all this stuff to connect. Well, guess what happened? October 3rd, she's fixing hair for one of her clients that owns a gym in St. Louis. Her friend's talking about fat coffee. They're talking about the keto diet. She's like, oh, I met this guy, Nick, in the airport last year. You should call him. So Kim introduced me to Erin. Erin called me October 3rd. She's like, hey, this lady you met in the airport gave me your phone number. We talked. October 17th, she placed her first order as a customer. She didn't want the 10 days. She wanted to go all in. From October 17th to October 31st, 2 weeks, she ordered 20 nat, 20 max, 20 keto cream, 30 orange, 30 chocolate for 341 BV. How would you like to have somebody you met a year ago tell somebody that they're doing their hair 10 months later about ketones, and it brings in 341 volume for you? That was all new volume too. And that lady, Erin, is loving her ketones. She's like, what's in this stuff? She owns a gym. She's about to become a promoter. I'm probably going to fly out next month to meet her. So a lot of you are probably feeling like, oh, I've been talking to everybody. My business isn't growing. It took a year for that seed to come to fruition. Are you willing to wait 1 year for that person you talked to finally decide to try ketones? Most of you on the screen probably haven't even been drinking ketones for a year to know what I'm talking about. Not all of them take a year. I'm just saying, it's patience. It's planting seeds and waiting for them to grow. Do you think the farmer puts the seeds in the ground and expects a crop the next morning? No, he goes out and he waters it and he tends to it and he treats and fertilizes and does all the stuff to it to make sure he gets a crop. So some of it's patience and consistency. I cold contact every day. I warm contact every day. I connect and I message and I do lives and I do all these things daily to bring me business, maybe 10 days from now, maybe 30, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. Most of you just need to flex your patience a little bit. It's kind of like growing a beard. Josh Nelson can understand. Takes a lot of patience. But next thing I want to go to is, if you're doing this constantly, you're going to have a constant flow of prospects. So when that 30% off Halloween special comes by, you're not out trying to talk to everybody at Starbucks. You have a list of people that you've talked to for the last couple weeks or months that you can connect with and say, hey, Erin, ketones are 30% off. Hey, Bob that I met at the Home Depot, ketones are 30% off. It's a perfect time to get started. Oh, we just got a new flavor, fairy dust. It's not what you do the day of the sale, the day of the promo, the day of the new flavor. It's the work you've been doing for the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 12 months, 24 months, so on and so forth. So you want to have a constant flow of prospects coming in. And it's expanding your awareness and being real in public, being a real human being, connecting with people and collecting friends. Connect, collect. I've just become really good at collecting relationships and friendships. So my personal database of people, I'm right at about 8,000 Instagram followers. I'm right at about 5,000 Facebook friends. And I have 2,079 people in my phone book on my iPhone. If you scroll the whole way to the bottom, it tells you how many contacts you have. I have almost 2,100 people's phone numbers. Most of those people weren't in that phone book before I started Pruvit and Ketones. I just become good at collecting people, collecting relationships, collecting friendships, taking a bunch of selfies. I take selfies with almost all these people and I put their picture in their contact. So when I go to the contact, I can remember, oh, that's where I met them. Oh, we're standing at that airport. And never, ever, 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 ever prejudge somebody. Some of my best promoters, I would have never, ever, ever guessed that they wanted to promote. They just fell in love with the product, and then they drank it for a while, and then they started telling their friends, and they became addicted to telling their friends. Don't ever prejudge based off of somebody's, oh, they might not be able to, they probably can't afford ketones. Why would they drink ketones? They're already skinny. Or, oh, they're a bodybuilder. They would never drink ketones. Don't prejudge. Ketones work for everybody. We all know Dr. Heather Carden says womb to tomb. If they have a heartbeat, they need ketones. So don't ever prejudge. I promise you that somebody right now, somewhere in the world, needs you and is looking for you. There's somebody that needs ketones. There's somebody that needs to make a couple $100 a month to save their marriage or save their bankruptcy or keep their house from going into foreclosure. The people are looking for us. Are you a billboard? Are you out there on social media? Are you out there being a human being? Just be human. I compliment people. Some of my best connections have started from a tattoo. If I see somebody's tattoos, I compliment their tattoos, then we talk about tattoos. Then we talk about ketones. It's easy. Just talk to people. Become a real person. I would say I've always been kind of extroverted, but you don't have to be an extrovert to just talk to people. If you're afraid to talk to them about ketones, talk to them about their coffee. Oh, what are you drinking? What kind of coffee do you drink? Oh, I love your nails. Oh, I love your hair, your handbag, your tattoos, nice car, nice Jeep, whatever. I met Tony at a gas pump. He's on fire. He already went GoPro. He's about to go MVP. He will be ranked 6th in the next 60 days. I promise you, as soon as I get home tomorrow, we're going to drive his business forward. It's just, don't prejudge. Like, you don't ever, ever, ever know what they're going through, what they're experiencing, what they need, and what position they're in. Your biggest promoter could be right under your nose and you don't even know it because you're too afraid to talk to him about it. Or you passed up that person at Starbucks. Maybe that person you didn't talk to, I'll talk to, they'll join my team, they'll be my next biggest promoter. You never know. So I got a couple more real world examples. So I was at the museum working. I went to go to a gas station to grab a water. I get in the elevator, and the lady in the elevator has 2 young kids. She goes, how do you like that Pruvit stuff? So I already know she knows about us. I'm like, I love it. I was like, I've been drinking ketones for over 3 years. What do you know about it? I just started asking questions. She's been watching us for a year. She promotes marketing materials for a rock band. So she follows Russell Brunson and a bunch of network marketing people on the internet, and she's heard about us. She's been researching us. She flat out told me, she goes, I just haven't tried it or pulled the trigger. So I opened up my backpack because I never go home without ketones. I never leave home without ketones. I gave her a pack of Heart Tart, and I gave her my business card, and I got her Facebook information. We friended and messaged on Facebook. She's excited to try it. She wants to sign up through my affiliate link so I get credit. I didn't even know. She saw my shirt. I wasn't even trying to talk to her. I had to go up 1 floor on the elevator and get off. She started the conversation. So these people are looking for us, guys. If you're not wearing something, Pruvit. I'm telling you, like, I see Tony's got a keto shirt on. Who else is rocking keto gear? Where you at? Josh Nelson's got keto gear on. I mean, Be the conversation. It starts conversations. But that's a wrap, guys. Literally, just go out and get good at connecting and collecting. Connect and collect. Connect and collect. I've just been collecting for 3 years. And anytime there's a promotion, a sale, a new flavor, a new product, a new technology, pumpkin spice, the fall collection, I have thousands and thousands of people that I've talked to about ketones that I can go reach out to. I can FaceTime with. I can pick up the phone. I can text them. The problem is on those sale days, you don't have anybody to talk to. Not everybody, but you just want to grow your audience and have a database of people that you can connect with. That's all we do, connect and collect. I could literally talk on this topic for another hour. I'm going to leave it at that. Short, sweet, to the point. You guys are awesome. And if anybody has any questions, you know where to find me.